QGIS again. We want to start up the project again that we saved last time, QGIS LG, Local Geography. We see the tips here. You may want to keep the tips around for a while until you get more familiar with the GIS. Quite often these are useful tips that tell you a bit more about how to do things. Once you've had enough of them, you can of course click right there. So we bring this up, and as before, to see information for the layer, we click on the layer, then we click on the identify features, and as we click on each feature, we see the information right here, the local code, local name, so local geography code, local geography name, and then a couple other fields that don't have information in them right now. And we also see the coordinates of where we clicked. The coordinates right here are in 10 TM, 10 degree transverse Mercator, because that's the projection that we set last time. If we want to see this in latitude longitude, all we have to do is change the project to be latitude longitude. So we go here to project properties and select WGS 84. That is latitude longitude. So we press apply, the map shape changes, and now we can click here and we see that the coordinates would be a negative 118.85 because we are west of Greenwich, so we have negative longitudes, and positive latitudes because we're north of the equator, so 57 degrees 21 minutes. The area of this local geography is expressed in a useful unit, so local in square kilometers. Thank heavens not local degrees, because that would be quite pointless. And same thing with perimeter. And this also gives me the closest X and Y vertex from the boundary here at the edge. And the number of vertices, 457 in the different click point around the edge here, and the unique ID, so 127 is a unique ID for this particular local geography. As I click on another one's 130, 110, each one has a unique feature ID. So that's how it goes. If I want to go back to the way things were before, project properties, go back to here, apply, press OK. Now you'll notice that the area has gotten small again, so you can press here on zoom full and it will zoom to the entire area. If you want to zoom into a particular area, for example Edmonton and surroundings, you can zoom in like that and then zoom back out by clicking on zoom full. Then likewise with Calgary, and then back to zoom full, Red Deer, and so forth. So easy enough to zoom in and out, easy enough to navigate, etc. So it's very easy to make these kinds of changes and come back in here and look at this information again. If I want to add information to these individual areas, for example, I may have rates for a particular health event that want to map to each local geography. So what I would do is bring in the rates and do those calculations. In this first example, I'll bring a category just to show you how that works. So I'll press add the limited text layer. So click right here, add the limited text layer. Then you have to press the browse button to see the files. In this case, I want to use one called Local Geography Urban Lookup. It's a CSV file. CSV files are exported from Excel quite easily. So we press open. CSV is the option that we want here. There are a couple others. Sometimes they change it, so make sure that if this is a CSV file that you choose this option right here. And it always defaults to wanting point coordinates, so if you had latitude and longitude, it will automatically make that into a point file. But this is just a straight table. We have local code, local name, and urban category. So we'll click here on no geometry because there's no geometry. We just want to link this table to this set of boundaries. So we press OK, and all we have done now is added this to the list of data that I can map. But of course this has no geography. I can open the attribute table and I can see that for each local geography I have an urban category. In order to link these two together, what I want to do now is double click on local geography, and that brings up the whatever last tab you had used. So it can be labels, style, fields, etc. I want to go to joins and add a join type. So let's add a join. It suggests that we want to link to local geography lookup. If we had more, we can click there and select the right one. We need to select the field that we're going to use to the link, and then on the table itself, which one it is. So ideally you would have the exact same names on both, and that will make it much easier to do these kinds of joins. So get into the habit of being consistent in what you call these fields, so that you can do a better job of bringing these together. So I'll press OK here and press apply. Nothing much happens here in the background, but now when I click on identify, it tells me that this area here, Manning, is a rural remote area, where this one is just a straight rural area, and then this one here is a rural center area, and so on and so forth. And of course I can always zoom in and see an area in a lot more detail. So right here I can then click into the different parts of Red Deer and see that we have Red Deer East is urban, Red Deer Southwest is urban, Red Deer North is urban. The county of Red Deer is moderate urban influence. Sylvan Lake likewise, but Lacombe is rural, as we see right there, and Rimbey is rural, etc. And of course we can once again zoom back out to the full extent, and clicking anywhere gets rid of this selected area, so that we no longer have to worry about seeing that. So this is how you link a table to a geographic layer.